Picture this. I just signed up for a virtual mindfulness meditation retreat over the weekend. Can you believe it? I know, right? I guess the adventurous streak in me isn't limited to exploring landscapes with my camera. I'm now exploring the landscapes of my mind. You see, Lana, the mindfulness coach, had this aura of tranquility about her that I couldn't resist. The idea of finding calm in this rush of working in the tech world and living in high-paced New York, well, that's something, isn't it? Speaking of the AI world, it seems Carlos is on a roll, cracking what he calls a nasty algorithm. Typical Carlos humor. You and I both know how excited he gets about algorithms. It's like watching a kid in Candyland. And then there's Emily, our Picasso of the digital world, who designed some great icons today. I have to say, her creativity never ceases to amaze me. But it's Emily. We all joke. It'd be strange if a day went by without some new creation. Oh, and she discovered a fusion ramen place, too. Honestly, how does she even have the time? Anyway, we plan on trying it next week. This busy bee life of ours allows random foodie adventures to shine as highlights. Lucas was his usual chilled self. He did ask about my photography ventures, though, but this time I had to serve him with the news of my new adventure with Zen. He seemed pretty cool with it. Carlos, on the other hand, seems caught up in the new Interstellar sequel. He didn't stop raving about it. And his enthusiasm is infectious. Now I'm excited to catch it being a fan of the original. Anyway, I'll give you a buzz after watching it. So guess what I did yesterday? I paired two of my absolute favorite things and hosted a cooking and photography night. Seriously, it was a laugh riot. You would have had a stellar time. We had a go at some traditional Asian cuisine. Can you imagine me trying to fold dumplings? Let's say, out of 10 dumplings, maybe 2 were presentable. But hey, it was absolutely fun. And then we all went for a photo walk around the city, just to balance out all the calories, right? Seeing the city with a fresh lens after a good meal, it was divine. Remember Emily and Carlos, right? Yeah, they were there, and let's just say, our culinary skills are, well, they're rather interesting. Emily did a decent job, though Carlos, well, the less said about his cooking skills, the better. Oh, and speaking of Carlos, he said he had an ostrich pop up on a video call. I mean, can you imagine that? His face when he talked about it? Priceless. Now Emily and I are planning to gift him a stuffed ostrich just to tease him. By the way, the chat today was hilarious. Lucas saw a beautiful sunset from his studio window, and trust me, the picture he shared could give any of my captures a run for their money. And Emily, oh, she's always game for a change of scenery, suggested he should try coding on the beach instead. Thinking about it, coding by the beach wouldn't be such a bad idea, huh? You know I'm all about escaping from the NYC skyline. Anyway, after the entire cooking fiasco last night, I realized it's been a while since we cheekily sabotaged one of the recipes. How about we catch up soon and whip up a storm in the kitchen, just like old times, eh? Oh, speaking of meeting up, we're also planning to try this fusion ramen place Emily found. Maybe we can do our little culinary disaster before as a prequel to it? Let me know what you think. So guess what? I've added another feather to my hat, and this time, it's leadership training. You know how intense things are getting at Click AI, right? So, I thought, why not give some boost to my managerial skills and signed myself up for this leadership course? Isn't it exciting? You know me, always chasing growth. It's not just about being a boss, but being a leader that my team can truly look up to, you know? I mean, it's not just about giving orders, but understanding your team, facilitating a constructive dialogue, and moving towards a common goal. That's what counts, isn't it? Oh, and you remember Lucas, right? He advised me to watch this rom-com, Winds of Desire. Yeah, I was taken aback as well. Lucas and rom-com didn't see that coming. But you know what? I decided to give it a go. Might be an interesting shift from our usual action-packed movie discourses. Meanwhile, the chat we had today. Such a riot, as always. Emily, Carlos, Lucas, and me, all going crazy over rom-coms and action movies. Emily predicted a plot twist, just because it was Lucas suggesting the movie. And then, I nonchalantly dropped the bomb about my leadership course. You could almost hear the virtual applause, my friend. You've gotta love Emily, though. She ends up connecting everything to a grand global scale. She's already calling me the Jack Ma of photography AI. That's our Emily. Big dreams and big words. Doesn't she just light up our chats every time? Remember the time when I folded the dumplings during our cookout? Well, let's just say had the team been with me then, I'd have had an epitome of failed leadership. I mean, imagine me trying to lead with my weirdly shaped dumplings. But on a serious note, with the team I have, all talented, kinda crazy, and absolutely wonderful, I do want to be a better leader for them. Okay, enough about me. What do you think of this whole leadership course idea?